Second turnover in a row, Janicki. And he had that one stolen. That's 2 turnovers in a row for the Badgers as well. Hicks left open. They don't want to do that much.
To get a college degree. I think that's what Coach told us, and that's just going to change his destiny.
Kamari McKee, game's high score. Couldn't cash in there yet. I've talked to Coach a couple of times this year where he's mentioned that as his first compliment. Nice look up ahead to Dunn. They scored the last 8 points in the first half. They're shooting the ball better than a 50% rate. Keep an eye on the Nittany Lions. We've talked about the fact that they've been a tough out for many top 20 teams. And Hicks brings them to within 2.
And we know about their backcourt, but the big 7-footer's got to bring it every night.
Crowds up to 12 points here this afternoon. Hauser throws it down. Wednesday. Blackwell not going to miss that one very often.
Yeah, that's good officiating from our angle. I mean, that's a flop. You've got to stay on your feet if you're ace, and otherwise he's going to play too much bully ball.
Ace Baldwin start 141, back-to-back dunks. Penn State got it to within 2, now down 3. Speaking of threes, Tonje misses everything. And now Penn State with a chance to tie if they knock one down from distance. Baldwin against Blackwell. There's a 3, and there is it.
And the first time in a while where they've doubled the post, and he just came down. I didn't mind the shot. Another turnover for Wisconsin.
Back-to-back steals for Baldwin. This time slows it up, drops it off to Hicks. He bangs a 3. Jess, I had jotted down here, had at least 2 blocks in the last 5 games. He has 5 today already.
Incredible timing. That's too open.
Dunn's got 23 big points. Started out this game just way behind in the rebound game, and now they have just 1 less.
They've been the tougher team for most of this second half and been able to get on the rim at both ends.
Another assist for Baldwin.
15 seconds, so we're at 18:46. And it is Penn State basketball. But continue with what you were saying, highest scoring.
No, in terms of highest scoring, and he's got a starting 5 that's averaging double figures. You know how hard that is to get guys, 1, to come to your program, and 2, to have the chemistry to be this successful.
They've been like that for a while. Zach Hicks from Baldwin.
Inside.
Well, Penn State's got a problem. 6 turnovers, less than 6 minutes of the second half. They had 7 the entire first half. Nick Kern off the bench. He only played 5 minutes in the first half. And they got 5 to shoot. Back to Kern. He somehow got that on the rim. Now flying in.
Great job by Maryland, taking advantage of the lack of defensive balance by Penn State.
Maryland couldn't take it, or Penn State could not take advantage on the team.
Run him off that 3, make him take tough 2s.
Zimbako, tough 2.
I got hit on the elbow there.
DeLeon, that bank 3 makes it
in the first half.
And as you talked about right at the top of the broadcast, more ball screen action to get guys open, and a turnover for Indiana. Baldwin, what a finish by Kern.
9 guys in your rotation, that is, that can knock down a 3-ball.
On something that they started to do about 2 years ago with Greg Gard, changing that offense. Boy, is it paying dividends this year.
A zone look here. That ball's got to get to the Big Ten area.
Baldwin getting booed every time he touches the basketball. He feeds it inside. And how about Nick Kern's finish at the stop ball?
Umar Ballo continues to make great decisions in short rolls. Nice job by Luke Goody keeping the ball in front.
Cut on the baseline, a little struggle down low, and somehow it turns into evening. 6 for 7 from behind the arc in the second half.
Well, folks, remember, this team that only shoots 31% from the 3-point line. They've been stroking it tonight.
Hicks will try to answer, and he does. Off the top.
Valley with the win.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll see if Penn State will respond here.
The timeout was called, and they immediately go Dunn's way. He's got the last 5 points.
Yeah, Oda Cali pressed into being an offensive threat. Good job there late shot clock to rest.
Tony Niederhauser. Yeah, that lefty shot.
And that's the type of shot that might get him going, Lisa. You know, those scores, they need to see one go down.
Tony Niederhauser trying to stop that. He had 3.
Coming off of some of those losses and able to find the rhythm. You know, you're talking about a Ohio State loss, double overtime here that they basically had that was in that mix. So interesting that they're starting right there by Dillion.
And they turn over Minnesota. Here's Carter on the push. Baldwin Jr. has been quiet. Conan Niederhauser has been doing a lot of the...
Forcing him to make a decision. He's got to get activated for Minnesota to have some success.
And that surprises me because he was so confident in the clutch against USC and UCLA. Drew a key offensive foul call, hit a shot, and made the difference here for Minnesota.
That's right. Got all the way downhill. Something we haven't even seen him try this afternoon.
Here's Dunn with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Dunn, that's a power move.
Basketball and move the defense.
5 of 16 this half, make it 5 of 17 this half for Minnesota.
Because they're not getting good looks. They're not trusting their teammates right now.
Baldwin Jr. My goodness, the alley-oop to the rafter.
And throwing him the ball in an open court situation, he's able to put the ball on the floor and then convert.
Another steal. 5 Nebraska turnovers. Bob inside and the stuff. Conan
Has been a force. Hasn't blocked many shots, but he's impacted a number.
Final minute here in the first half. Lob back door and Dillion cruising in by Conan Niederhauser. And a steal. Hicks, the interception. Nice offload. Dillion with the bucket. Beautiful left, and he finishes.
And they're just feeding Morgan, and Morgan taking advantage of the fact, especially now, with the shot blocker Niederhauser on the bench. Inside and try to take advantage, especially with Niederhauser on the bench. And that rim protection just not there for the Nittany Lions. And so far, Morgan's been able to take advantage.
Penn State shooting 66%. 8 to shoot. Dunn drives on Worcester and he scores. Either for Nebraska. Big minutes for him. A lot of activity since the break. And here's Ace, the man from Baltimore. Defensive Player of the Year last year in the Big Ten. Touch pass. Dunn nails the triple.
That ball, you get Mia going to the rim. Good use of the back screen to free him up.
I mean, Sean, as a guy who played at Northwestern in the mid-'80s, this is an 18-team league right now. As Baldwin lobs it up, and it goes down for Conan Niederhauser.
There, especially Mia, just a real couple steps behind the play.
No excuses. They've won their last 3 on the road. They've been on the road a long time, and there just seems to be a little fatigue right now from the visitors here at Penn State.
And Penn State had a lot to do with that. They came out and set the tone early on and kind of answered the mini run by Nebraska here to start the second half as well.
Nittany Lions with 8 to shoot. Baldwin, no looker. Hicks again for 3. And
3 teams in the conference do not make the Big Ten tournament. Conan Niederhauser skying for that rebound.
Great Osabor set a major screen to free his teammate up.
And they're getting in the paint too early. So he knows that's not where he's going to shoot from. Nice find, Mason. Couldn't finish.
Mason's got to use the glass. Enza challenging him. You got to utilize that glass.
Gave it back to Dunn. Drills the... All the students and really a lot of different people all over this building are wearing this afternoon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what they're doing here. And, you know, this is, again, one of the higher attendant playing for their tournament lives here today and then the next home game against Rutgers. So you see a much more balanced effort by Washington here this afternoon.
Bounce inside. Conan Niederhauser was bumped and got it to...
For Penn State on the perimeter, if they can find it.
Diallo for 3. Osabor's trying to burst through a couple of Nittany Lions. No foul call. Dillion racing into the front court. Down the trailer. Hits the 3. Penn State back up by 4. Timeout.
That's going to be the case. And right now, Penn State not figuring out what Washington is doing defensively.
Baldwin ahead to Dillion. He gets into the bucket. He was fouled. They'll count it.
Zach Hicks has been really quiet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he hasn't scored here in the second half.
He's needs to be a consistent presence for the Nittany Lions. Oh, Davis almost had a steal.
Baldwin found Dillion cutting. And he
His timing, his dribble.
beat it down low. There's two different Nittany Lions. Osobor thought he was fouled. Baldwin with his fifth steal. Dillion into the front court. Penn in the foul. Baldwin.
Baldwin to send it in for the baseline and 20 to shoot for the Nittany Lions. Point guard, look at the baseline. A nice cut from Kern.
We've been here a bunch, and he's got nice touch in that paint. They don't go to him a lot, but when he gets opportunities, he can finish in that painted area.
Dunn hounded by Claude defensively. Ace Baldwin Jr. with a dozen to shoot. Shake Yates. Hicks comes to get it. Rising for three. Zach Hicks. Half numbers are astounding. 12 for 12. They've made 5 threes. They've assisted on 10 of those 12 buckets. Out of the corner. Desmond lays it in with the left hand.
He is so aggressive. When he puts his head down, he's getting to the rim. That doesn't mean he's going to finish it every time, but he's getting there.
Stewart attacks. Jump stop. And hits. Nice play by the front.
He was on one.
Yeah, no question. Last week's Big Ten Player of the Week. This week, Dawson Garcia. Although he has just 2 points tonight. DeMarco Dunn by. Inside of the bucket.
Going up and ripping the rim down.
Now, officially, that's not a fast break point. We don't have any in the game. Nice move, and it rolls in. A three.
Second paint points for the Gophers here.
You said his statistics point to being a strong second half player. 8 here in the second. They lost Kern. He lays it in.
I told you I was right. Stick with the plan. And ultimately, it could be paid off here tonight.
State's got to go fast. They're down by 3 possessions. Back out to Dunn. Tough three. Gets it to go.
The rim, and they give it back to him for the finish. Impressive end-to-end sequence for the sophomore Bradshaw. Remember, was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Showing you why there. And when you talk to Jake Diebler, when you ask him, Donnie, as you did, about the identity of his team, Tony Niederhauser drops it in. He says, hold it up. This is Hicks with the left.
You forget about him because of the activity with, Mobley and Parrish, and then next thing you know, Royal steps in, and then, we forgot about Thornton.
Enza goes to the line.
Not at home. A foul is a foul is a foul.
Baldwin into Conan Niederhauser. Drives. Woo! Goodness.
Getting back, and then obviously Kern just doing a nice job of continuing to pursue and pressure the ball.
Those pool noodles are legit. Those aren't balloons. I mean, those things are heavy duty. Freddie Dillion, just 1 shot attempt in the first half. Zach Hicks knew that.
That would be a great example of it.
We're not superstitious.
We're not saying, just saying.
Just a little stitious. Here's Kern inside.
There you go. Again, good.
A little bit cold. What's happened? Much better movement in terms of keeping the ball handlers in front from the Penn State standpoint, and then they've been able to clean up on the boards. That was an area of concern for them coming in. So Michigan at the beginning was able to get some second chance opportunities and keeping plays alive, but that has not been the case here recently. And Michigan showing a little bit of a zone look here to the Nittany Lions.
It's actually Penn State, which has owned the second chance points, 10-2 in this game. This zone seems to have confounded Penn State early in the position.
I want to put that one on the shelf. There's Baldwin.
nifty reverse layup by Zach. Glad Golden just 10 minutes shot, and definitely seems like his illness has plagued him a little bit here just in terms of energy. And Conan Niederhauser blows right by him there.
Of turning, facing the rim, and then rather than making the lazy pass, which would have been a straight line pass, he makes the proper pass, which is the bounce pass.
There's Dunn. On the drive, Baldwin into Conan Niederhauser, surrounded by 3 Wolverines, but still gets it. And really no bad ones. Everyone's in the top 100 of the net. A turnover for Michigan. Baldwin the other way. Dunn able to corral it. Pulls it back out to Baldwin. Here's Hicks for 3. And the lead.
How about Iowa has just thrown the ball inside to Freeman. And for most of the game, no double team has come, but in that last possession, a late double came. So we'll see how Penn State wants to defend Freeman moving forward. Kern on the cut. Around the world and in largest city. Feels like an important final 2 minutes here for the complexion of this thing. Yes. Iowa has really been solid, especially offensively. Dunn cans the triple by almost a full half a count. But how about Iowa coming out and blitzing a ball screen there? Freeman getting out. Yannick Conan Niederhauser drew the miss. Thelwell drops it in the well for 3. 13 points for Thelwell. And a bucket and a foul on the other. 4 to shoot. Dix from deep, and the rebound to Dillion. But Baldwin blew that whole possession up with the poke out. Inside to Conan Niederhauser. He spins away from Freeman. And Brock Harding has created space with jab steps on the catch twice. The first one is for a 3, and that one was to get downhill into the paint and drop a dime. But pretty good footwork for the point guard. He averages 6 assists per game. 4th in the conference. Ace Baldwin 2nd at over 8 per game. Here's Kern, and he drops that one in. Love it. 2 of the fastest paced teams in the country playing to that pace early. Both teams comfortable offensively and making shots. 2 of the higher scoring teams, and it's looking like it's going to be a fun one here in Iowa City on a Friday night. Nick Baugh and Chris Foster is with you. Both teams average over 84 points per game.
We've seen him go off. 37 against Alabama, 36 against Notre Dame. He can do it with the best of them.
Been over 11 times this season. Dillion responds with a 3. 2 for Mike Rhodes here at Penn State. Hicks, he's been doing this well. Off to a good start tonight. Feeling much better after back-to-back wins. Williams aggressive to the basket, taken away by Bailey. Dillion, pull up 3, nailed it. And he picks up where he left off in the last game, where he had 15 points.
I mean, he was 7 of 8 from the field, and so he's just really, that basket looks like an ocean right now for Grant.
You say that again, 7 for 8.
Yes.
Hits his first 3. Kern with a pretty take. Good body control.
Enough for him, but he's the ultimate competitor, so that's why he's out here.
Meanwhile, you have Ace Baldwin with the ball. 40 minutes played in East Lansing in their last game. He's the only player that played all 20 minutes in the first half, too. He's in double figures. Ooh, and has an assist to Niederhauser to get. Rutgers with a difficult win on the road last time out in Lincoln, snapping the Huskers' 20-game home win streak. Trying to pick up another win here at Penn State. Give them 3 in a row. Hicks left open. Hits another 3.
How to attack these changing defenses.
Talked to Steve Michael at Shoot Around this morning, Stephen, and in a number of ways he made it clear that he liked what his defense was doing here in winning 2 consecutive games and really needs it to step up now. 6.5 left and down 6.
Yeah, they have been much improved here.
Boy, that was a pretty feed inside to Niederhauser.
Bailey.
And now it's 20 seconds on the shot clock. Baldwin back to Niederhauser. Drops it in.
Yeah, just hip checks him. Almost like a sidle. If he'd had a thing of Tic Tacs in his pocket, they'd have heard it. Baldwin on the drive, drops it off in the corner for Puff Johnson. Set up for three. Earlier today at the Breslin Center, Robbie Hummel can still dunk.
That was not a challenge today, but I was happy that happened. Corner, and Fiddler, just a great drive, shows that athleticism off, and uses that rim to shield it from the shot blockers.
Ends it to the rim.
That we had seen them do it in the past.
Well, it all starts with that point guard play from Jeremy Fears.
He's been the head of the snake and certainly a very positive leader on a team that has a couple of those types of guys. DeMarco's making plays at the rim. He's been really good off the bounce. He's been good in pick and roll. Top 40 offensive rating in all of college basketball.
And there's 2 free throws the rest of the way for Penn State. Oh, what a feed inside and a hammer from Cole. Here's Fiddler. Open 3. Still not quite right from deep. Hicks, the transition 3 falls. 6-point game. Coming up on 3 to play. Hicks, the 3, up and down.
To the rim or look for something quick from 3. There you go, there's that slip.
And there's the 3 from Hicks, and it falls. Time and I looking to run. Boswell to Hummerkaus, transition 3. And the rebound is secured. Frenetic pace to start this one. Hicks now for 3, buries it. 2009, currently at 12 and 3. Is Boswell trying to go all the way to the rack, and no whistle. Might be indicative of how this game's going to be called. 2 physical front courts. Kern lays it up and in. But how about the savvy,
talented Penn State team? Official DJ Karstensen throws it up, and off we go with Penn State controlling the tap.
For Indiana today, they're going to have to handle pressure. Penn State brings it for 40 minutes. And Indy Lions, the defensive glass looms large. Balo was a big factor on the offensive boards. Has to be one and done for Penn State.
Both of these teams 2-1 in conference play, both coming off a win Thursday. Inside, a lay-in for Puff Johnson. Rhodes as well. They've crossed paths in Pennsylvania circles many, many times. Ball into Puff Johnson. Off the glass, and it bounces down.
Puff Johnson far off the block there. Good job of doing his work early.
Mentioned keeping our eye on turnovers. 3 each so far. Johnson again at the rim.
Puff jump out. Puff Johnson, he's setting that, and it's a beeline to the rim. Does such a good job of getting out quickly.
Yeah, Miles Goodman is going to grow up quickly today.
No question.
Getting a breather, so Conan Niederhauser back out there, number 14 for the Nittany Lions. Back door! Oh, what a sequence!
To play all year long.
I think on paper, it's probably one of the most talented rosters in the country, right?
Yeah, I put them with Illinois. Both teams have a ton of talent.
What a finish. Nice English there. 22 points, 11 rebounds for Umar Balo. But with him having 4, Penn State just attacked the rim.
Absolutely. Go right at him.
Here goes Baldwin. Back door. Wow. What a feed. Kern lays it in.
For taking your rock.
Reigning conference defensive player of the year.
Oh, boy.
And that was all forced by Baldwin. 4 on 3. Hicks from downtown.
What hit him?
And all of a sudden, Northwestern has their first lead of the night.
Matthew Nicholson playing a little Bob the Builder off the glass. Got it to drop.
Ace with it. Ace into Hicks. Hicks with a nice finish. Barnheiser swings it, and now flashing toward the basket is Justin Mullins. Cannot get the reversal. Penn State can run if they'd like. Ace with his eyes up court. And they'll reset with 20 on the shot clock. Back to Ace. Slips it to Dunn. And Dunn with a 3 and a 2. But 2 steals on the defensive end to his name.
I expect Ace Baldwin to really be aggressive here. Didn't hit a shot in the first half. They're going to look to get it going.
Ace with a nice pass inside and getting to the rim is Cody Nieder. Ace picking it up full court. Ace trying to make a play on the defensive end. Johnson comes up with a steal. Back to Ace. Hicks thought about a three. Hicks will launch a three. Knocks it down.
Barnheiser comes up and gets that ball handoff, and then Nicholson dives straight to the rim. Great feed.
Ace back to Hicks. Now Dillion comes to get it. 10 on the shot clock. Dillion, long bounce pass over to Baldwin. He kicks it back out for Hicks, and Hicks can spread. Offense in a hurry. Under 10 to shoot. Martinelli with it. Martinelli can't find it. Trying to tip it home. Niederhauser flashing over for the rebound into the hands of Baldwin. Baldwin trying to sell the call, and he won't get it. Ace comes back to get the basketball. And he's checking his arm as he still thought there was contact there. Refs will disagree. Baldwin into Hicks. Great pass. Hicks.
Get the ball screen action, turns it down, gets it to his fifth gear along the baseline.
Baldwin dribbling through contact. Barnheiser tried to swipe at the basketball. Can't get it back out to Kern. Coach Rhodes calling for Ace to come get the basketball, and he does. 7 to shoot. Ace taking his time. Ace trying to find the basket. Lobs it to Kern.
Competition, which will begin for them in the new year. Final game of 2024 for both underway. Tap controlled by the Nittany Lions in the white here at home. Last outing for Penn State, Nick, in Philadelphia against Drexel last week. Able to get the win against the Dragons, and right away, Yannick, who is adept at passing, finds freshman Braden Foster making his third straight start. Again, Steve Donahue, a lot of coaches, end of non-conference, they got the rotations down pat. Still searching here, and there's the sky ball. Penn keeps it alive. Smith wants three. Can't get it. Johnson works his way in to hit it from the baseline.
That's a tough shot on the baseline. Nice little floater.
Dillion beating everybody.
Him and Polanowski.
4 turnovers in the last 3.5 minutes here for Penn. That's tried to get untracked offensively. Does have a bucket, couple of assists, but now saddled with 4 fouls, and Conan Niederhauser just score. One of 2 Quakers in double figures. Zanoni leads the way with 18. Spinoso has 13. Penn again staying in range. Baldwin wants 3. Ace can't get it. Long carom out to Johnson. Ace trying to direct a little traffic. Back out Johnson. Yes! Off clearly for holiday break. So a lot of young Penn State fans, opportunity to come see the Nittany Lions in person, and they see he's okay. Zanoni, 21 points now. 15 to the first half, 6 after the break. And
is the big fellow with his early presence, averaging nearly 2 blocks a game, Conan Niedenhauser. And there is the big fella inside and one. Defense bringing that culture and identity from VCU where he was so successful. Air ball, and Penn State will look to run. Baldwin probing, throws it up. And Niedenhauser again, just too big, just too. As a head coach of, that's correct, 2-38. Of course, he led that 1990 Coppin State team into the NCAA tournament where they lost to Syracuse. Puff Johnson, turnaround shot, got it. Leader in steals, and he is second in assists. It tells you all you need to know about one of the all-time greats, point guards. And there's Zach Hicks. 5 rebounds a game. Not in action today for the Eagles. So for a team that is struggling to say the least, Nick Kern inside, throwing it down. Steals leader in America.
I don't even know if I ever passed the ball enough.
700 times total. Forget an assist. Did you pass it 700 times total? And there's another one. Give him 6 assists. You look at Baldwin, Kern. I know you think Kern has the ability to even play at the next level. Niederhauser inside. It's another layup. Of Big Ten hoops. Mike Hall, Rayfelt Davis, Mike DeCourcy have us covered coming up on the State Farm halftime show. And be curious to see if the guys agree that, you know, you just look at this Penn State team 1 through 8, the athleticism, all the different aspects that this team has. How dominant ultimately can they be in the big? I mean, I think if you're really going throughout college basketball and the Power 4 conferences, and you're listing biggest surprises, certainly in the Big Ten Conference, Conan Niedenhauser is on the list, if not at the very top of that list. He is a difference maker.
Get up, get up, get up. Hey, watch your side, watch your side.
Oh, wow, no look for Baldwin. Advantage the other way, and gliding to the bucket is Sparrow. Another no look and another easy one from Dilly.
They're not walking the ball up the court. They're getting easy shots because of their quick off.
Harrison, no. Puff gave up his dribble, finds Baldwin. The 11 assists tie his season high, and oh, Zach Hicks.
As well as a triple-double watch.
Nick Kern into the game. 7 straight games in double figures. A little zone defense for Coppin. Matchup 2-3 that is just disintegrates.
Saps like that, that just shows that the focus is starting to drop down a little bit.
Stewart for 3. Book it from downtown, and Penn State is content to see the half-court offense the rest of the way. Could that be number 15? It is. Ace Baldwin. Certainly brought Ace with him from VCU. 15 assists. Now 11 points to go with 5 rebounds. And there is the score record. Number
Bailey off the glass. Ace Bailey has just got some kind of body control at 6'10". Can contort himself any kind of way he likes around the bucket.
Averaging 18 per game. Baldwin, Hicks, and that's what he does. Another 3.
Dillon should have given that up. P.J. Hayes was ahead of him. A simple bounce pass could have resulted in a layup.
Done with the reverse. Try and shave this lead down as we get closer to halftime.
One of the things that Penn State head coach Mike Rhodes told us, we don't want to react to adversity, we want to respond.
And this will be a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, he looks a little winded right now, if you ask me. Harper. Both teams, they can't get to the halftime break soon enough.
Penn State was in this spot against Purdue in their last game. Double-digit lead heading into halftime. Now trying to erase it. This would help from Hicks. He's got it. Buckets for Penn State. And now Williams. Hicks up to Baldwin. Has Johnson. Has DeLeon. This would be three. What a start for Penn State.
Well, misdirection action here. Let's see if they can execute.
Best shooting team in the Big Ten, well over 50%. Stuck on 40 here tonight. Baldwin, Hicks. Well, that has been going their way since the first half.
Yeah, I mean.
Lead back to 11.
Pete Piper trying to get the home crowd into it.
Hicks hesitates and then knocks it down.
And can't hit the front end. So empty trip for Purdue as they get into the bonus very early in this first half. Big Ten opener, a couple of 7-1 teams. Number 8 Purdue and Penn State off to their best start in a while. And Purdue knows that from their one loss this year against Marquette. Gave it up 15 times in that game. Marquette turned that into 18 points off those turnovers.
You just can't turn the ball over against good teams, especially on the road in a league like the Big Ten. You got to take care of it when you're a team like Purdue. You don't rebound it well. You've got to find ways to steal possessions.
Niederhauser.
Fletcher Loyer just got to keep that basketball, force Penn State to drop back into their man, and then Purdue can set up their offense. Purdue just going a little bit too fast here in this first half.
Baldwin hops in, leaves it for Niederhauser. That connection. And right on the attack, using the athleticism, but he missed the layup. DeLeon nails the three. Yeah, against Smith, didn't take a shot. First 12 minutes he was on the floor tonight. Kaufman-Wren, they allowed him to play through it. Johnson had the defense in the post.
Puff Johnson's doing a great job down low on the block as a smaller defender. Just fighting.
Quick step Baldwin, out for a Johnson three.
Taking the fight to them. They're the more physical team. Purdue's got to find a way to get some stops in a row if they don't want to get blown out of this gym.
We had a game going to halftime yesterday, Ohio State, Maryland, that was 50-17. What's more surprising, that score or this score?
No, that score yesterday was so surprising. I mean, Ohio State with only 17 points in the first half. Maryland looked like a bunch of pros out there.
Mike Rhodes and George Halkovich for Buffalo. Penn State wins the tip, ready to go here from the Bryce Jordan Center. Penn State scoring at an incredible clip this year, over 90 points a game, and right off the goal. Pitching a shutout. The big fella inside, off glass and good. The best Bulls player thus far will take a seat. The lead is 4. DeLeon for 3. Got it all net. Inside, beautiful pass. And Michael's able to connect. Done the other way. About an 8-second shot clock, game clock differential. Looks like Penn State will try to run some clock here. And go with 10. Bolden, Baldwin, 2 great athletes. Great passing. Oh, how did he do it? In college basketball anymore.
I played 5 years of college basketball at the Division I level. I played on pressing teams, and I never got to 10 seconds in one game. I can tell you that for a fact.
Alley-oop inside. Oh, he done it again. Oh, run from Penn State. Again, it's this defensive pressure. Do we have number 3? Baldwin the steal. Off the wrist. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. Curve. I was talking to Coach Rhodes before the game. He said, you know, this is a message to everyone back in Schuylkill County that dream big, believe you can do anything, and it can happen. You got 2 guys from the same area. Oh, my goodness. A much quicker lineup for Coach Halkovich. And Niederhauser with about a foot advantage on everyone on the court. And it is another... So under 3 now. Penn State on their way to 7-1. Been a while since the Lions have been there. Oh, the 7th dunk of the...
It's Lock-in and Conan Niederhauser for the tip. Advantage Penn State. And we're off and running. Time to crown a champion in Daytona Beach.
So two very good teams that should be in the NCAA tournament, but very different styles of play. Clemson does not mind playing slow. Penn State, right out of the gate, they don't mind.
A couple of great guys manning the sidelines as well. Got a chance to catch up with each coach as Zach Hicks that. But right now,
crossover.
With a 3-point lead, they give it right back. This is one of 2 North Carolina transfers on Penn State's roster. DeMarco Dunn, he's on the floor with number 5 in white, Puff Johnson, who played in that Final Four a couple of years ago. Nice feed and finish. That's the big man. Wiggins has been busy in the first half offensively. That one too strong. And here comes Ace Baldwin inside. What a move. The finger roll out. Hunter can't finish the floater. Hicks has it for the Nittany Lions. They've scored 6 straight. Nice one-handed grab by Nick Kern for Penn State. Now it's Ace Baldwin. Lobs one up. A finger roll. Lob. Niederhauser! It's all about what a move. Chase Hunter, the veteran leader on this Tiger team.
That's so good.
Conan Niederhauser. This man is
Giant slam. I love it.
Clemson knows about grit. They have their Clemson grit mantra. In fact, Yannick Conan Niederhauser knows a thing.
Smart play by Lock-in, smart play by Scheffler.
The freshman Del Jones can't cash in the open 3 from straight away. So Baldwin's got to be careful. Penn State's best player just picked up his 3rd, but a magnificent feed. Stops in this second half. Can't finish the one-handed shot. Schefflin unsuccessful as well. Conan Niederhauser, the big-time board. 3 minutes to go. Clemson by 6. A championship trophy on the line. Undefeated Penn State. 5-1 Clemson. An awesome game. Will it be an awesome finish? Hicks with a massive 3. Our officials today, Mike Nance, Chad Barlow, and Justin Porterfield, and we are underway. Thanks for spending your Thanksgiving week with us here on CBS Sports Network. There is the aforementioned Zach Hicks. He can shoot it from 3. He can shoot it from 2.
The defender to establish position, you got to use your legs and your core.
And that's Timbila's 2nd foul. So coming in for him is Matt Zona, who started the first 5 games of this season. Came off the bench for the first time this season in Friday's loss to Drexel. Conan Niederhauser gets the bounce per game. Well, that's a nice move from Romadine, but to your point, 14 steals per game, 3rd in the country, forcing 19 turnovers per game, 7th in the country. So this team really doesn't have any holes early on this season. Nice move with some
late closeouts for Penn State. Fordham right back in this thing.
They've trailed by as many as 13 in this first half. In the blink of an eye, with under 5 to go until the break, they're down by 4. And hunting for more. Puff Johnson has made 2 straight releases. That was a close call, but the effort was there from Romad Dean. 2 minutes to go in this first half. It's a 10-point lead for Penn State. Hicks creates space, finishes. Got the call, but he gets the finish on his own shot. Now the Rams have made 5 of their last 6. Hicks pulls up for 3. Kaboom!
That unselfishness is off the charts. 2 years ago, Nick Kern tries to force a play there at the rim.
He's been impressive. One of 2 players to come over to Penn State from DCU with Coach Mike Rose. The other, the aforementioned Ace Baldwin, but right on.
And he drains it. Had not. Exploits the press, and the Mastodons, their first 3 of the evening. They even it up at 13 apiece. Kern, feed, Baldwin. Baldwin working down low. Baldwin, feed, Conan Niederhauser. Just making it look easy. Who we keyed in on the pregame show. 0 points, just 7 minutes played.
Yeah, only attempted 1 basket, but he has 2 fouls, so that's probably the most likely reason why he's not in right now is Zach Hicks drills that 3. Keep an eye if they start calling fouls down there because it seems like a lot of bodies are hitting the ground.
Again, Mulder converting on a second chance. And he's now up to a dozen on the evening. 56-54. Hicks for 3. Hicks gets it to go! Season high for Baldwin in the 5th game of the campaign. Dylan Price, Chris Reynolds, Kaylee Tallman here with you at Big Ten Plus. Enze down low. Enze! Enze can't complete the play, but Baldwin gets it back. Dunn tries for 3. Dunn around the world and in! Under 10.5 to go here in the second half. It's 72-66. Penn State here at home. Baldwin, fake the pass. Baldwin drives now to Enze. Enze! 81-69. Nelson had the look now. Morton Robertson pulls the 3. Won't land. Baldwin gets the board. DeLeon pushing. Under 8 to go. Baldwin thought about it. Baldwin drives. Baldwin fed! To Yannick Conan Niederhauser. Over just under the last 4 minutes. Dylan Price, Chris Reynolds, Kaylee Tallman here with you on Big Ten Plus. Penn State has swung the pendulum firmly their way. 83-69 the score. Baldwin, he's got it. Baldwin, the feed. Hicks for another 3. Hicks! From him. Had a bit of a dry spell. We talked to Kaufman about it, and he said he consistently has his confidence in him. And right there, showing why. Morton Robertson with a triple. It's 88-77. Penn State out front by 11 here in the Bryce Jordan Center after trailing by 6 at half. Baldwin thought about it for a moment. Baldwin to DeLeon. DeLeon down low. Tip-tap.
Great second half.
Feed around to DeLeon. DeLeon. It won't go. Battled for it. Niederhauser and Kern both had a hand on it. Goes to Kern for the board. And Penn State will reset things here. And now they'll try to eat things off the clock a little bit. Around 2:30, DeLeon! He goes and dump off as they run into each other with under 60 seconds to go, and Penn State 11 points away, 11-point lead, and under a minute away from holding on to their perfect record. Baldwin driving, kick out to Dunn, who thought about it. Under 45 now to go. Puff working down low, now up at the top of the key. And now fed back to Puff. Puff tips the glass, and now Penn State.
Take care of Villanova by 10 earlier. Shoot on the kick out, front rim. And the rebound battled for, not won by Yannick Conan Niederhauser, the emerging junior from Switzerland. One of a few transfers coming in for Penn State. Here's Baldwin kicking it back out. Jumper on the, able to clear it with yet another rebound. 5-1 advantage on the glass so far for Penn State. No. Do call the block ahead of time, so wave off the bucket. Penn State, though, still trying to add to this lead, and they will. Snare the rebound. Rex Snyder, mid-range, front rim. Baldwin finds Kern. What a reverse and a sweet dish. He sits presumably for a stretch, maybe the rest of the half, we'll see. We talked about Baldwin doing so much. Hicks has an opening and sticks it. Second half.
Right, and Coach Rhodes talked to us about this before the game with, in practice, in film sessions, teaching Niederhauser how to play defense without fouling, sometimes just a little over-aggressive.
Jumper knocked down. Dilly averaged about 14 points per game last 4 games last year. When Penn State really started to get things going in Big Ten play, and off the inbound, it down from deep, give him 4 on the night. Ball. Johnson on the take. Confident move.
It's tough to win games when that's the stat for your team.
It's one of the reasons Penn State may be better than forecast in the Big Ten this year.
This looks like a tournament team to me. And we know it's early on, but with this being their first real test against solid competition, This is a team that looks like they belong in the NCAA tournament.
Wow, that's strong forecasting.
Practice, scout, whatever you want with this defense, but there's something about the intensity in game that the Nittany Lions bring that just catches teams off guard and forces them to speed up.
Well, one of those things that you try to make your players get ready for it in practice, but it's really hard to replicate exactly what they do.
Well, of course, in game, there's the nerves that come along with it.
How about Enza?
For Penn State, spent his first 2 years at Northern Illinois, and now in his first season for Penn State, and averaging 17 points a game to begin the first 2 games of the season for the Nittany Lions. Our officials tonight, Brian Dorsey with Randy Richardson and Tim Comer, and right off the bat, Talbert misses on the 3. Good offensive rebound, though, for St. Francis, but unable to put it back up was Bobby Rosenberger. And here comes Penn State yet again. Stifling defense. They move the ball quickly into the front court. St. Francis 0 for 3 shooting. Penn State, conversely.
And again, right there, just moving side to side. Pinedo able to clean that up off the glass. So it's really just the movement from side to side and taking advantage of those traps by passing.
It's back down to a 4-point game here. Baldwin for Penn State. Back up top, Hicks. 3 ball, got it.
And Hicks.
Another steal. Baldwin. Dillion, got it. Penn State. 4 seconds on the shot clock. It's taken away. Stewart, Baldwin, back to Stewart.
And on that ball and then leaks out for the dunk in transition. And this is where that fit comes in. With Mike Rhodes talking about these freshmen really fitting into what he wants to do and eager to play defense and make the right play out there.
Brought in largely last year, putting a couple of guys like Kern from VCU and Baldwin as well. And there is the VCU. Impressive, right?
Hair flying all over the place. Ref's like, I got to call that one.
Baldwin trying to dump it inside. It was a little bit wide for Hicks, but...
So that's a theme through 1 through 15, however many people are on the bench. Everybody, you come in the game, they're going to try to throw bodies at Penn State. You come in, you're going to keep this pace up no matter what.
Talked a bit earlier about Penn State turning the ball over a little more tonight, but UMBC only has 1 point off those turnovers. There's a 3 for Hicks. Will make passes difficult, will make shots difficult, and the Nittany Lions certainly have used their defense to help them get out to this lead.
UMBC is going to have to lean on their older guys to make plays, to try to chip away at this lead. They can't do it all in one play.
The shot just 29% from the field as Puff Johnson gets the home. They'll play St. Francis next in a few days. It'll be on Tuesday. They'll play Virginia Tech immediately after that. So the non-conference schedule will pick up for Penn State at some point. Here's DeMarco done for 3. As Penn State has turned defense into offense all night. Here we go, Baldwin to Kern.
It's the layup there from Evan Ash. Back into that 1-3-1 zone defense for Penn State. Skip past to Hicks. His 3-pointer. Kisses the glass, gets the Fred. Double figures with 11. Right back into the 1-3-1. See a lot of ball fakes there from Ace Baldwin. That's what's really helped him move the defense and find these gaps. Hope to Niederhauser. Easy lay-in for the deuce.
I mean, I said it in the first half. Every time Ace Baldwin Jr. has taken a shot, it looks the same. Copied and pasted. He just looks so clean from the field.
Rhythm 3 for Zach Hicks. You got. That's back-to-back triples for Callahan Gold. Back in the 1-3-1 defense. Dunn drives all the way to the rim and finishes at the rack.